Well, it's a little crazy right now with the real estate market and trying to figure out which end is up and which way to go and where to turn. And in this video, I kind of want to talk about the real estate market in the Brandon area and talk to you a little bit about that area as an option for you in this crazy real estate market. So let's get to it. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live in the Tampa St. Pete area. And this channel is dedicated to anything pertaining to Tampa and St. Pete in general, but mainly the housing market in this crazy climate that we're in. So if that resonates with you, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell. That helps me out a lot. If you have any relocation needs or questions, or you're thinking about moving to the Tampa St. Pete area, or just want to get a plan started, I'm your girl. So go ahead and reach out to me. All of my links are below. You can call me, text me, you can email me. You can also jump on my calendar for a 30-minute consultation, and we can kind of go over things together and get a plan for your real estate needs. I'd be happy to help. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Brandon, Florida. Where is it? What are some of the neighborhoods in there? And what is the market looking like right now? So let's dive in. So this is being recorded in August of 2022. So as we know, the real estate market is just doing this, okay? And there is no hard and fast rule right now what's going on. The interest rates rose, they dropped a little bit, they might be rising again. Locking in rates, figuring out your plan, I'm sure right now is really a daunting task. I have a lot of clients in very similar situations. Do we move now? Do we wait? Here's the thing. I can't tell you whether you should wait or not. All I know is that houses are still moving pretty fast. I am noticing a dip in some of the prices, which just means there's stabilization. There's no bubble that's bursting and any of that kind of thing happening. And there's not going to be a significant drop, but there is a stabilization. So we need to start using that term a little bit more, stabilizing. I'm also not seeing these mad dashes for these houses, especially the ones that need some renovation. There are homes that are staying on the market a little bit longer than normal, and it's making people a little uncomfortable, especially those listing agents. I'm actually going to help a friend this weekend with one of her open houses just to try to, kind of get some buzz going, because it is hard right now to kind of get the buyer that you need in certain properties that are sitting a little bit longer, and that makes listing agents very, very nervous. And so what does that mean for you as a buyer when you're taking a look at the real estate market in Florida? And again, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the Brandon area and some homes to consider, and what's the price point, and what's happening. So really things are just leveling out a little bit. I've said this in several videos over the past 6 months. Things are leveling out. I think what's happening with, interest rates is a good thing. It's also pricing people out of the market. So there are some people that now cannot afford a home, unfortunately, but that also means there's less buyers out there. But you also have to be careful, because some of the listing agents and or sellers, and it's not always the listing agent's fault, because we really, you're our client and we guide you, but you ultimately tell us how you want to run things. And so sometimes I think in this kind of climate, this economic climate, people are like, I want to sell high. I want to get the most out of this house as I can. Let me sell. And we get a little greedy, and that's normal. We're all like that in certain aspects. But when you're thinking about putting a big, significant chunk of money down for a home, you do not want to be paying more than this place is going to be valued in the next couple of years. So it's really important that you work with a professional, a licensed professional in the market that understands what's happening. That's me. Don't forget, you can reach out to me and we can get a strategy going for you. But you do have to make sure you also have a really good lender behind you as well, licensed in the state that you're looking to buy in, and making sure that you are getting that pre-approval process happening. Get that pre-approval letter to your agent. Or if you're going to be doing cash, you need to show proof of funds. I had a client kind of push back on that, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to support you? And how am I supposed to know if you're a legit buyer unless I know you've got some money to put down? So that's why we have those pre-approval letters. It tells me and it tells the listing agent, hey, this is a real buyer and they are pre-qualified. And here's what they've got. They're coming to the table with. We can't be secretive in real estate anymore. You can't be secretive about your money. We got to know. The people that are in play with you need to know what's happening and where your money is so that we can help you get to the end, which is closing day. Let me touch on inventory for a second. I am noticing there are some more homes coming to the market. And again, I think some of these sellers are trying to chase the market a little bit and offload their house. Hey, good for them. You know, we need the inventory. So I'm not opposed to that, but I am opposed to overpaying for a house, you know, so we would do our due diligence to make sure you're not doing that. Again, working with a licensed professional will help you with that. So what's happening in Brandon? Let's get down to it. I have been investigating this area, Brandon and Riverview, for a couple of clients and driving around and doing some virtual tours. And there were some neighborhoods that kind of stuck out to me that I wanted to talk to you about. So as we look at the map here, let me just move this out so you can see in relation to Riverview. So here's Riverview down here and Brandon is up here. And there will be some neighborhoods that sit next to Riverview, and they may even have a Riverview address or zip code, but they are considered Brandon. But Brandon's pretty much gonna cover this area right in here. Some other areas that I've talked about before and that I'm gonna continue to talk about is over in this area, Fishhawk. But let's not talk about that today and confuse things. Let's just stick to the plan, Emily. So Brandon, there's an area called Lakeview Village, as well as Barrington Oaks East and Southwood Hills and Bell Shoals. So these four little neighborhoods I really kind of like. Something that is very similar to Riverview is you're gonna have some of these, you know, deed restricted communities with, you know, posh landscape, really nice homes. And then on the opposite side of the street, you might even have a trailer park. You might have a farm. You might have somebody that has tons of land, you know, ranch style kind of landscape over across the street. Or you might have an unincorporated neighborhood where people are parking anything they want in the front of their house and they don't have to keep up their lawn. So when it comes to the Brandon Riverview area and the east part of Tampa in general, you have to really determine if curb appeal is important to you. Some people really need the outside of their house to look a certain way. If that's you, stay in the deed restricted communities, but you're gonna have to pay those HOAs, so don't forget about that. But if you're looking to be able to park an RV or a motorcycle or a boat or an ATV or something like that, parking space in your driveway, then you're gonna have to go to those unincorporated neighborhoods, and they tend to not be as pretty. And I'm gonna show you a couple in this video. And just for reference, let's take a look at the MLS a little bit and kind of get an idea of what some of the housing prices are in this area. And you're gonna see why it's becoming a bit of a popular area. As you see, as I'm scrolling over, there's anywhere from $545,000 home, a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, to a $295,000 home with a 4-bedroom and 2-bath. So some of these are going to be older. They're going to be in those unincorporated areas. I can tell you right now, like this house is going to need some work and updating. And this house is built in '74. So that's something that you have to think about depending on your price point. Because if we go over here, let's go back to that 545. Let's look at that one. That one was also built in '74, but let's see, did they renovate the inside? The outside looks nice. It's got good curb appeal. It looks like they put a little money into it, and it's got a pool. So, and it's 2-story, which doesn't necessarily appeal to everybody, but you can see you've got a wide variety of options in the Brandon area. And even over here where you might have a little bit of a pond view, or here's Lake Village right here. Again, we're looking at a 2-story. You're over 2,000 square feet. This one's built in '86. Let's see if they've done some nice renovations. Oh yeah, great renovations. So again, in this 525 price point, if that's you, you can get a pretty decent renovated or even semi-renovated home. But you know, when you're looking at a home that's in that 290, 300,000, you have to look at the square footage. This one's only 1176, and they don't even have any pictures of it. That tells me as an agent, I'm not so sure I want to send you there. Well, as you can see, the ones that are under that 300,000 mark, they don't have a lot of those available in this little area of Lake Village that I was looking at that I really, really liked. Lakeview Village, I should say. So if we go down past 60 here, you're also going to see, so the average homes right now, as I'm scrolling, you can see 400, 400, 500, 500. There's some threes, and it just really depends. This one has 1435 square feet. It's a 1958. It doesn't look like they've done much updating to it, and it's 334. So hopefully at that, I mean, again, this video is being shot in August. You know, everything's changing minute by minute. But you have affordable options, especially if you're looking for that single family home with a little bit more land, possibility for opportunity to put a pool in the back or get a pool. You can have that in the Brandon area for sure. Brandon is very much, you know, suburbia with lots of community kind of sprinkled throughout. Again, you're going to have the unincorporated areas with the incorporated areas within walking distance of each other. There's a lot of bike paths. You're going to see a lot of people biking, lots of kids on their bikes. The grocery stores, again, let me show you some shopping options. So as far as shopping in Brandon, it's going to be kind of the same as Riverview. You know, Riverview doesn't have a ton of shopping as well, but we have all of it right nestled in this little corridor right here. For Riverview, it's down here, but for Brandon, it's going to be Westfield, which is the main mall or the plaza at Brandon Town Center, or Lake Brandon Village, as well as the Town Center Mall and King Row shopping. Some of these are really small, by the way. They list them, but they're actually really small. But when you get over here to Town Center and Westfield, that's where you're going to have a lot more options for that. And if you're looking for the Walmart superstores and that sort of thing, that's also going to be in this corridor right here at Providence. So this is a good area for shopping. Is this Lumsden Road and Providence Road? There's a lot of shopping. So you could go up and down Lumsden and you could find some good shopping. Of course, I just think the way that they built it was smart because they put a lot of the shopping here along 75 and where 75 and 301 meet. So that's where your Target's going to be. See, you've got Kohl's there. So if you need the shopping close by, it's going to be in this corridor. So the great thing about Brandon is sort of its small little squared area, and the neighborhoods are not that far from all of the shopping. So I like to point that out to people because some people, like, I really like having a grocery store literally across the street. I like having that. I miss something in my recipe, I can go to the grocery store and pick it up. But in some of these areas, especially that were traditionally rural back in the day, you know, the Publix's, which is our grocery store here, Publix's, or even Winn-Dixie's, and that's, or even Walmart grocery stores, you know, they're in these larger shopping centers that can house them, but that's not necessarily close to your community. So that's something you have to think about if you need them to be close by. If you don't mind a little 10-minute, 15-minute drive, you're golden. And so let's talk a little bit about what you can do with the family in Brandon. Again, it's a very suburban area. It's got a lot to offer. You have a lot of nature around you. Riverview, Brandon in general have lots of parks, lots of little rec centers, lots of things like the iFly and the Sky Zone and the Top Golf, if that's your thing. And they also have like these little rec centers where you and your kids can go play basketball or volleyball or that sort of thing. So you can see you have tons of options. Brandon Park and Rec Center, Davis Park, Lamona. You could even go up to Seffner if you want. Paul Sanders Park, that's a small park with a playground and a trail. And that's really great for kids. And it's very, it has a ton of trees. So it's pretty well shaded, especially right now where it's 1,000 degrees. Brandon Boat Ramp. There's lots of stuff going on. And then of course you've got Lithia Springs Park and some of these bigger like Bell Creek Nature Preserve. These are some larger parks that you can find too in this TGH Ice Complex if you're into ice skating. There is a plethora of things to do. And then, you know, what I also wanted to point out is you're still not far from the water. So Gibsonton has some, obviously some parks and stuff that are right along the water there as well. There's the Manatee Viewing Center. Of course, it says temporarily closed. I think they're going to open it back up in November. But that's another great place to take the kids if you're looking for something to do. So in my opinion, there is plenty to do in Brandon with the kids, and there are plenty of housing options. And don't let this market scare you too much. I mean, It's not like 2008. We're not going to go back to that again. Are we seeing some decreases in prices? Absolutely. I'm seeing about a 5% drop right now. Will that change? None of us know. I don't have my crystal ball in front of me, but I can tell you this. I don't believe we're in a bubble. I don't think we're going to burst. I think we're going to stabilize. And so if getting to Tampa in general, Brandon, Riverview, any of those areas, if that's something that you're ready to do, let's start a conversation and let's get a plan together. I have people that have not stopped. So they are moving forward and getting things prepared. The summertime, obviously, with kids going back to school after summer, it's slowed down a little bit, but let's get you ready for fall if you'd like to get into something. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm very happy to answer any and all questions that you have about the real estate market. It can be really daunting right now and a little scary, and the news is going to scare you. So you need to talk to somebody who's got boots on the ground, and that's me. Okay, I can help you with that, but I can't help you if you don't reach out. Again, my links are below. Don't hesitate to email me, text me. Get on my calendar for 30 minutes and we can talk, and I can help you, and I can kind of help soothe some of these worries you've got. And again, that lender, if you need a lender, I've got some lenders for you as well. I got some great lenders that can help you. And everybody's being competitive right now, don't forget. So let's shop some rates together and see what we can lock in for you. You can lock in those rates as well. And as always, if you have a comment, leave it below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Do you have anything to add, or if you have some video suggestions, anything you want to see, I'd love to hear that below as well. I'm open to all of it. This Riverview Brandon video is one that somebody suggested as well. So I thought, it's time to do one. And if you click that subscribe button and the notification bell, that always helps me out. And I really appreciate you coming and checking out my content and supporting my channel. And let me know if I can support you in your real estate needs. And I'm here to help you. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.